being skinny was definitely not the standard of beauty. So voluptuousness was the standard of beauty, and you were just not a woman enough if you were not voluptuous. Having said that, which it shouldn't be, and we should definitely. I remember coming back, and I remember speaking to Anita when she'd call up, and I said, Anita, I want to do this shoot, and I want to do it with the scar showing because I'm scared to show it. And the moment I'm scared, like it's like I think I'm going to go out only with a wig. I don't know if I should step out with my. Then the thing to do was to step out without the wig, to step out bald, because. Is this what you're afraid of? Crush it right there, So I was beginning to, that was the scary part. As the bloated face, the scar, and the baldness, and especially when the hair just starts coming. It's just the most ugly sight on the top of your head. It's really not. But I did that, and the point was. I said that the moment you're scared of something and you're feeling that, no, how can I do this? I need to go out and do it and, just kill it right there or just crush it there. So that was one way of looking at it. Having said that, there are definitely a lot of things that need to change. But we've also become a bit too sensitive about things now. Yeah. So I think we are losing that balance.
We get offended
We needn't be on that other side where, things are going so bad that, you can say anything to the woman and, body shame her. I do agree that body shaming should not have any part in our society, and especially little girls and, the kind of ideas that they're growing with, the kind of crazy dieting that people are doing, which really affects the health. People are forgetting that it's holistic, and health is holistic. It's not just this part needs to be like this and that part needs. It's in the entirety, even your mind. It needs to be balanced. But having said that, we are also reaching a stage where as soon as there's criticism, we are all getting so touchy about it. But we have to understand that criticism needs to be taken constructively, and sometimes you should be able to criticize in a proper, gentle way without being nasty or mean. But how are you going to improve if you don't know that something is not right? You will need to be told that this can be better. If you have to accept that, and you have to be able to tell that.
When you talk about being nasty, I have read, of course, I was not a journalist. I was not even old enough to read stories in the 90s, but I know, because we still read those throwback stories, which are like vicious, vain, vile, everything. It's nasty to another level. It attacks somebody's personality. It gets into somebody's like insides and outsides, like anything. What were the nastiest things you've read? Because when you started off, you were really, really young. Yeah. It could have affected your mental space. Did it ever get to that?
Yes, it did. Of course it did. You are affected. And you kind of develop a thick skin eventually, but it's never thick enough actually. You kind of fool yourself saying that, now I don't get affected, but you do. You always get affected, even today. The degree gets better, you learn to live with it, or you learn to ignore it. But of course, that 1 second of that little bit does happen, yeah.
But what were the things that you read that really affected you? Do you remember?
I honestly, anything that I really don't like, I block it off and I move on from it or put it in the past, and I don't look into it then. Look into past. I don't live with I try, and I really, really try very hard to not live with regrets, and I definitely don't live in the past. So, not that I remember like a particular story so much, but I remember the whole, as soon as you were confident or friendly, then there were always these nasty innuendos and connections that would be made with the actor or the director, which was very uncalled for. Yeah. And it always affected the atmosphere on the set, or your friendship with the person, and just not a happy atmosphere. So that sort of a thing. I think one thing that I remember, because I remember asking, you mentioned Sarita, so I remember asking her about it. One of my colleagues at that point of time, they had written about this person and about the background that this person came from, and how they came from such humble background, and look now, they were just showing off about it so much, and they were talking about it like this, and but actually they come from this background, and this is where there was a huge thing about it. And I remember asking that, is it a crime to come from a humble background? I come from an even humbler background. What's the problem? I mean, tomorrow you will take off on me, and why is it a crime? Do we decide what background we come from? And how can you judge somebody on that? And I remember the reply that I got, and they said, but you've never hidden where you came from. You're always open about it, and you've spoken about it.
Yeah.
And this person has always painted a very different picture. And so when they lie, then you have something that we can dig into and kind of say that, oh, this person is lying. I said, still uncalled for, because I don't agree with that. But I remember that as a lesson. It was something that I always ticked in my head, that just accept what it is, because the moment you've accepted it and you are saying it, what can you say worse than that? I've said it myself. I know what it is, and this is what it is. This is the truth. The moment something is the truth, you can't fight it.
Absolutely.
You can't call it names.
Absolutely.
Because truth is. And so I've always tried to be as truthful as I can be.
Yeah, and that is something that I've been told as well, that you have always been one of the most honest human beings ever. Like, you've said it as is.
Or not said at all.
Yeah,